Hello. It's been a minute, but I had to pick something to talk about today. And I'm going to talk about people, neighbors, everyone around you. And I could take this back to, I keep trying to go back in time to try to figure out like where we get these things that stay in our brains that we keep going on all our life with and want to make it truth. And, you know, I did read that book, The Four Agreements. And right now, for me to think of the Four Agreements, I know it's don't make assumptions, do your best, don't take anything personal, and be, what were your words? I forget that last one. But yeah, kind of be careful with those words that you say because words speak truth. And when I was 9, I'm going back to 9. I remember, I think the area we lived in Brooklyn might have been Bed-Stuy, but I'm talking about 957. It was like 1966. And my mother, we rented a house, and next door to that house was the woman who guest owned the house, and we had to pay the rent to her. And my mother was always forcing me to do things. I'm going to say me, she probably did it to my brother also. But, and those forcing of things to do that you didn't want to do or were scared to do, it makes you learn that it ain't all that hard. And I remember all the kids told me that the woman next door to us, who rented us the house, was a witch. And I really believed it. I was like, I can't go in the house. And my mother would go, here's the rent, go next door and pay her. And I'd go, I put up this fight because I was truly scared because I believed what my friends told me that this woman was a witch. Well, my mother wasn't hearing it. She was like, girl, go next, go pay the rent. So I sheepishly just walked over there and knocked on the door, and she let me in. Now, granted, her house was full of stuff. I guess that might have been the first time I met someone who was a hoarder. I mean, you had to walk around the boxes. Now, I probably am exaggerating it, but remember, I was 9 and smaller, and it was like a maze to me trying to get around to her. And she wasn't a witch. She wasn't even that, she wasn't mean either. But who knew her? She stayed in her house most of the time. You didn't see her. So, people make up things about people. And I think that was my first time learning that you can't go on what people tell you about people and that you have to see it for yourself and that everyone's not out there to harm you. And we're all here together. So, and I think I would tell my friends, she's not a witch. And, but, they go with what they believe. I met her, so I knew. But not that I went to visit her all the time, but only when to pay the rent. But you gotta look into people and you gotta meet them and you got to see them. And we have all this misconception about who people are. Now, yes, granted, there are good people and there are bad people. And sometimes I think the bad people aren't really bad. There's just some hurt in them. And they're trying to figure it out themselves. But you also got to know that we are the same and not the same. We have different, maybe cultural things that may be a little different, but we all got the same things in our life that we want. Now, I've traveled a little bit, and no matter where I have gone, I find that people pretty much need the same thing. They need shelter, they need food, they need love. Now, some people have a lot of it, some people have not as much, some people struggle, but the basic things that we do need is food, shelter, and love. And I seen that in my travels and all. And I remember in Africa once we were in some tribe. We were at a tribe, and it was like a teenager, maybe like 12 or 13, and the mother had asked her to go into the hut and get something, and she stomped her feet and walked off. And I remember looking at her going, "Oh, teenagers are teenagers wherever you go." So, yes, we are all the same and not the same. Yes, some things can be different. How you dress, how you eat, culture, like I said, cultural things, but we're pretty much the same in needs. And I don't know how people get to where they are or why. You want to ask people sometimes, like, why do you hate this person? Or why do you hate this? And sometimes they don't have an answer for it. They just what they've been told. And we go along with it, like me being told that that lady was a witch and me believing it for a minute until I found out for myself. So yes, you do have to go out and see how people are. The press, and I did work for the news, how they put things out and how people believe it. And you gotta investigate it yourself. You gotta look into it yourself. And you're not always in the position to, but there's things you can do. We got so much on the internet now, so much that you can find out for yourself and see. So just take the day as it comes and be open to what comes towards you. You never know. Have a good day.